Hi my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I have a simple reminder for you to firstly pay attention to how are you feeling right at this moment. I want to bring you some sense of surrendering to your life right now, to remind you that it's really not all about what you're feeling right at this moment. Because many times, many of you may be saying, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling stuck, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling this. But the truth is, those are all quite suppressed energies you've been avoiding to, you've been repressing, unconsciously suppressing them. You've been ignoring them, you've been running away from them, but they've been kind of caught in your nervous system, because energy needs to be in motion. Energy always loves to be in motion. And so you see, positive emotions are when you're fluid, when you're in flow, when you're walking with this motion, when you're actually walking in your nature, when you're doing what is putting you into flow, when you're really serving and doing your best and being the most authentic you can be. And negative emotions then are when something happens to you that you don't know how to respond to it, or you don't know what to do about it, or you don't have any intellectual knowledge about how to explain what happened, so you suppress it and you avoid it, or you escape these senses, these sensations. So I want to bring you this sense of surrendering today, because the real surrendering truly happens when you recognize that there's nothing you need to be attached to. There's nothing you need to be attached to. And it can only happen when you notice that you don't need anything to be free. Freedom is an internal state. It's the heaven within, right? The kingdom within you. And in order to experience any kind of a freedom, you need to detach. You need to detach from anything you think that you need. And actually, yesterday's video, I was talking a lot about letting go and surrendering and attachments, but there's so much more to it. As more we're tapping into energies, into frequencies, more we're noticing that actually very weird but mystical things start happening to those who've learned that they don't need really external validation. They don't need to be attached to something. They don't need to live out of fear. They can actually let go. They can let go. They can release. Like, you know, when you release the tension in the muscle and you start to feel lighter. Now imagine what or how would it feel if you would release actually the source of tension in the muscle, which is usually trying to do something that is completely out of alignment with your true self. And most of the time it happens because you're not aware of what is the true self, what is your higher self, actually the source, the universe, right? The universe in motion is you. The universe expressing itself is you. You attaching yourself to something out of fear then creates ego, right? And then being identified with what you've attached yourself to will feed your ego. And then losing what you've been attached to will hurt your ego and hurt your pride and so on. So in order to truly be free in this life, my friend, firstly you need to release these stuck energies from your body. And it's just, you know, noticing, okay, right now I'm feeling a sort of tension in me. And when you pay attention to it, you notice that each emotion holds a whole field of thoughts to it. It's like each emotion would be a container of certain way of thinking. And what one thought leads to another that is equal to that emotional state. So you can notice that when you're happy, you think very positive thoughts, and when you're sad, you think very negative thoughts. And it's not like when you've been happy, you've been trying to think positively, and when you've been sad, you've been trying to think negatively. It happens completely naturally because thoughts come out of emotions. they come out of energy in motion. Energy in motion it's like a wave of, it's like a stream of energy. And energy is carrying information, thoughts. So when you're walking with the flow, with the stream of this universe, you're naturally channeling what you need, what needs to come through you, what needs to be said. Like when you're in a certain conversation and that conversation gets into that beautiful flow, you just know what to say, right? And everything becomes so fluid and beautiful and healing. But when you're in a conversation, when everything is painful and heavy and there is no flow, you become more aware of the pain, of the tension, and you start to maybe complain or judge or gossip about someone. It happens naturally, you don't think about it. And that's why the realest healing is that you start releasing the tension, and there is actually no physical work to it. It's a work of consciousness, it's a work of awareness. So if for a moment you place your attention to your body right now and notice yourself feeling certain way, pay attention to the tension in your body. If you can notice there is a sort of tension, there is a sort of something you would describe as a negative emotion, maybe sadness, maybe fear, maybe frustration, envy, jealousy, competition, any of that. Maybe you've been comparing yourself with someone out of fear, out of feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you're unworthy, feeling like everybody else is winning and you're not, or feeling like you're being left behind. And just notice the emotion, notice the feeling behind it. You don't need to analyze it, you don't need to think about it, don't try to think about it, because thoughts will already trick you that you should make sense out of it. You don't need to make sense out of it, you just need to feel it for this moment. And when you focus more on it, just feeling it, allow its energy to be released. Usually it goes upwards through your body, and then your body starts to feel lighter. It happens naturally because, as I said, energy wants to be in motion. It wants to be fluid, like a river. That's why Bruce Lee said, be water, my friend, be fluid, be adaptable, be spontaneous, be free. And this is a beautiful art of detachment, because all this stuck energy make you feel afraid of something, and then fear make you feel attached, like you need people, or you need these things, or you need this to survive, or you need that, or whatever. But when you release it, almost like mystical things start happening, because you know, each emotion creates an electromagnetic field. And many times if you talk with someone who's more intuitive, they may sense you, they may say, hey, what, you're going through something, what's going on? They can feel your field. So the thing is, your body is emanating a field of energy, and that field of energy is making you feel certain vibration. And through consistency, being in a certain vibrational spectrum, you plug yourself to a field of frequency that is matching your energy, and that's what is creating your reality. So the thing is, if you don't work on detachment, on releasing, on letting go, you will be meeting events, circumstances, and people in your life that will be on a similar spectrum as you are, because life is a reflection. So as you are moving along your journey, one of the greatest things you can do is letting go of the past. Letting go of the past. And letting go truly is not an intellectual process, it's a feeling process. That's why they say feeling is healing. Feeling will heal you. When you feel yourself, you heal yourself. But you need to sit with yourself. You see, your mind has developed many mechanisms of avoidance, of suppression, of repression, of escaping. And most of your life you've been maybe living in these mechanisms, searching and chasing other things to be happier, to be more fulfilled. But truly you've been doing them out of running away from yourself. You see, behind this stuck energy there is a true you, there is a true self, the you, the real you. And that's why when you face with yourself, you meet your true self. And that is a very powerful thing you will discover. Many of you have already discovered yourself, but you sometimes also lose yourself after that. Because, you know, it's not that you do it one time, you're doing it, you know, frequently. You're supposed to do it frequently until you start noticing that that true you is really guiding you. It's really giving you a sense of direction. And you kind of develop a sense of passion to become more of this true self and less of this attached, hurt, lost self. And that's when you start making a shift from the old identity to a new one, from old lifestyle to a new one. And if life truly is a manifestation of, you know, of tiny little choices we make on moment by moment basis that are really adapting our frequency to our new attitude, if we choose from a greater attitude, well, our choices will be greater, right? If our choices will be greater, the results of our choices will be greater as well. So life will start reflecting back to us the greatness that we've embodied. And if we embody a bit more of the greatness every single day, well, one day we'll just become great, right? But to those who are detached, they don't wait to become great. They tune in with the greatness within that is willing to heal the past, that is willing to let go of attachments, to let go of these painful emotions. Actually let go of this stuck energy that's meant to move back into stream, back into flow. And actually the universe rewards those things because, well, nothing is better than liberating yourself, right? When you liberate yourself, you liberate the universe. Because the energies that are divine have become stuck. And think about what happens to water when it gets stuck. It starts smelling like it's dead, right? It becomes muddy. The life dies inside of that water, right? And that's what happens when energy gets stuck. It's like a part of you starts losing aliveness. So the remedy for that is truly to free yourself from these emotions. And it's the least complicated process when you begin to understand that you just need to feel yourself. You need to feel the tension and be present with it, be content with it until you set yourself free. And usually you don't even notice that you've set yourself free until maybe people around you notice that there's something different about you. Because you still have these expectations, what should happen when you're doing the healing work. Should you become suddenly more psychic, or should you suddenly become more motivated, or should you suddenly become, I don't know, more telepathic or whatever? It's not like that. It actually doesn't matter. You notice that when you free yourself from stuck energy, you will eventually become more creative. You will eventually become more natural. You will eventually become more playful. But that playfulness will be expressed in ways that you would describe in the past as weird because you've been afraid of maybe standing out, right? So many people are actually being afraid of letting go because they're actually afraid of who they will become on the other side of that, right? Because many of us have been holding ourselves back just so we would not be judged, or we would not be laughed at, or we would not be, weird. But then on the other side of that is truly weirdness to the ego. You become quite weird, but it's liberating. You become weird for those who are holding themselves back. Like, a great quote says, "Those who dance seem weird to those who can't hear the music," right? So the point is that you shouldn't judge yourself for who you may become if you free yourself of fear. Because whatever you will become will be liberating, right? Maybe at some point you will just start to sense like you've been reborn, and that would be a beautiful thing. So all I wanted to remind you today is to feel yourself, to go into the depths of your body and notice where you may sense a stagnant energy. It may be in your stomach area, it may be around your chest, it may be around your neck, it may be in your shoulders, it may be around your hips. Pay attention and see what happens if you just stay present with it, without thinking about it, without analyzing it, without making it logical. Just feel it and see what happens. And then notice that you actually become lighter. And when you walk around, there is like maybe 0.1% difference, or maybe 1% of difference. There is something different. And maybe tomorrow you will do the same thing, and the next day you will do the same thing. And today's beginner is tomorrow's master. Today you are beginning to heal, and tomorrow, who knows, you may become a new you. So it doesn't matter what becomes on the other side. Freedom doesn't choose. Freedom is just being. And then being is already a choice, maybe. But when you just are, you notice that there's something greater that lives within you. And once you notice the presence of something greater, well, allow it to lead you. And I'm sure you will be surprised where it will take you. My friends, I hope you've enjoyed in today's message. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. I hope you've enjoyed in today's artwork as well. To anyone who would love to support my art, you can find it on our store, AttractPassion.com, or Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. Go and check it out, and well, thank you so much for your kind support. It means a lot to support my journey. And till next time, my friends, one love.